Alright, this is my review for Game of Thrones, Episode 2. And as with the last one, slight spoiler warning for those of you who haven't watched it or read the books, might want to get off now. If you still want to stick with me, come on, let's go. Alright, so first off, we had quite a lot happen in this episode, especially for the second episode of this series. Slight spoiler alert. Well, you know what, fuck the spoiler alerts. If you're still with me, you don't give a shit. They revealed that Bran was alive after having been pushed off of the wall by Jaime. And Catelyn starts to suspect that something is actually going on, that his fall wasn't an accident, when she finds that blonde hair up in there. And she's going to figure out that it's Cersei later on. I enjoyed that. I also especially enjoyed, not only with later on coming to Bran's rescue, but the fact that the direwolves are not completely going to be ignored in this. Twice in this episode we actually saw, in fact, how useful they are. One involves saving Catelyn Stark and Bran from an assassin that's come up there to try and whack him. After there was a fire set as a distraction, and this guy comes sneaking up in here, and Catelyn puts up a fight. I still don't like her character, especially the way that she treats Jon, but I'm still kind of rooting for her all the same, at least in that regard. She's putting up her fight, just fighting for her life, getting the shit cut out of her hands by trying to get the knife away from the assassin, and then Bran's direwolf just comes up in there and jumps on the dude and just rips his goddamn throat out. I thought that was completely awesome. I did read about this in the books, but still seeing it brought to life is just fantastic. I loved it. The second instance that I really liked is that we actually had a bit of two good things happening here in twice for both counts. One with the direwolves, and the other one is with Joffrey. You can already tell right off I don't like Joffrey. He'll become a little bit of a fucking bastard later on in the books. But, well, there was something I was going to say, but I'm going to hold that off. He gets his ass handed to him twice in this damn show. The first time is when he goes to wake his Uncle Tyrion up from the kennel. Says some kind of smart-ass remark to him about, Uncle, it's kind of funny that I see you waking up with bitches as usual. And his uncle comes out and says, why don't you go and make some kind of sympathy support to Ned and Catelyn. And the boy says he won't do it, and his uncle just hauls off and slaps his ass about 3 times, making him go and do it. And obviously that's going to come back later on to bite him in the ass, I'm sure, but it was still funny seeing that little son of a bitch get his. And the second count was later on when Joffrey decided to bully Arya and the butcher's son down by the river, and he's like going trying to swing his sword all crazy. Arya, a little girl, takes her stick, whoops his fucking ass, and then the direwolf comes up and just bites the shit out of the boy's hand. I thought that was outstanding. And this show, or at least this episode, also showed a little preview of how much of a dumbass that Sansa will be on down the road. If I sound completely unsympathetic to her character, read the books past the Game of Thrones and you'll understand why I hate her so much. Although, with A Feast for Crows, even though I hated that book, yeah, I do start to kind of sympathize a little bit with her after that. Meanwhile, we don't really get much with Tyrion in this episode, besides the fact that he's handing or that he's disciplining his nephew and has a fun little banter in between him and Jaime. We do have a little bit of the conversation in between him and Jon Snow as they're going to the wall. And I think they're going to kind of play this off and build up to there's going to be sort of a friendship in between them, perhaps later on in the season, given to how much, if they decide to stick to as much of the source material as I think that they're going to. But that was kind of cool. Ned. We're starting to see sort of the cracks already starting to show up in between Robert and Ned as far as their friendship goes. Ned is damn well set on wiping out every Targaryen, especially since he found out that Viserys and Daenerys are trying to work on raising their army up across the Narrow Sea, and Robert wants to go ahead and work something out to destroy both of them. Meanwhile, all that's happening, Daenerys is taking some love lessons from a slave girl, and there was kind of a point there to where I thought that they would also, you know, maybe show some lesbianism going on in between Daenerys and her slave girl, whose name I cannot recall right now. But that was pretty fun, and then she's going to go and show Khal Drogo the ropes of wanting to be a queen in the bedroom. Man, I gotta give Khal Drogo this. He's a hard ass, except for the fact that he's wearing the guy liner. But you know, he tries to fight her, taking control of their time in the bedroom. But what's funny is, which the spoiler alert is that Dany is wanting to take some control of him, and she just doesn't want to be a plaything to Khal Drogo. I'm starting to see slight differences in the book show up here in particular. The big thing being that the first time that you would read about Khal and Daenerys consummating their marriage, he actually treated her very gently, and here in the show, he's just running with her like a dog in heat. What's kind of funny about Khal to me is that after he lets Daenerys take control of him, he's just sitting there and let her ride him. He's got like this just wooden expression on his face, and I'm like, you know, damn, at least crack a smile or something. But that just shows how much of a badass he is, as if he's letting a woman take control, and he's just like, I just thought that was funny. But as far as with Cersei, now I'm starting to give Lena Headey a bit more credit. I know she's a good actress, but now she's starting to convey and portray very well the subtlety of the contempt that she has for the Starks, and just how much of a fucking bitch that she is and will be on down the road. She's cold-hearted, and you really got to see that in the scene in between Catelyn and Cersei in the bedroom with Bran. It was very subtly hinted at, but Catelyn, in her stricken grief, I don't think she really picked up on that, and it's not until towards the end of the episode that everybody finds out just how much of a cunt that she really is. And speaking of the word cunt, this is the second time in an episode that I've seen something pushed derogatively towards a woman. It's portrayed in the books, but I still got a very heavy reminder of that. If you watch the first episode and you know the very cold comment that Viserys made to Dany about how much that he would what he would be willing to put her through in order for him to get his kingdom back, which I still will not say because that's some pretty harsh shit. Joffrey just goes, and while he's swinging his sword at Sansa, he hauls off and just says, "Oh, you little cunt, now I'm going to kill you." And I was just like, even that's a little child, I was still just like, it's still in the books, but I was just like, you know, damn. This is definitely not like any show you've seen on TV, and I think even in some of these regards that they're actually pushing a little more of the boundaries than what HBO is well known for. So maybe this is sort of a direction in maybe an influence that will come over later shows or something, because you know that to me is kind of a bound that's been broken, because I haven't seen anything else like that in any kind of television show or movie that I've watched of that nature. But yeah, so far 2 episodes in, we're doing really good. Had a lot of good shit happen. Can't wait to see what's going to come the next time around. And that's pretty much it. Leave your questions, comments, rate this, and join me next time when I review the third episode next Sunday. Y'all have a good week.